So still we are on the mental health. Mental health, focusing with the mind. Again, the mind in this case, we are referring to intelligence. Intelligence. In everything that we do, we are supposed to focus more on mind, that is intelligence. Because that intelligence, it affects the mind, it affects the health of an individual. If your mind is affected, it affects your health completely. So if your mental health is strong, it means even your physical part or your physical body is also healthy, or you are going to enjoy the 8 C's, the 8 H's, 8 H's, 8, 2, 4 H's. That is the first four H's. We have happiness, health, healing, and high esteemed joy. High esteemed joy. Then the second 4 H's, it's humanity. Art, habits, and hope. So if your mind is affected, you cannot enjoy this. You can also not enjoy this. So that's why we are emphasizing more on the mental health in this case, and also focusing more on intelligence, how you apply or how you approach life's challenges each and every time. So one of the concepts that you are supposed to understand, or that we are always emphasize, is on intelligence, that is with basics from basics. With basics from basics, we can also enjoy this. In this case, we are turning or changing challenges into successful opportunities. Still, in order for you to enjoy this, every challenge that we have, we are supposed to change it or to turn it into a successful opportunity. Still, that is intelligence. Intelligence, we are applying, we are using your mind. Again, from what you have covered so far, is based on the neural sparks in the neural pops that will sparks and pops into our mind to change the challenges into a successful opportunities in order for us to achieve this. We've also established the 8 C's framework in line with the 8 H's. That is the creative, critical thinking, We are supposed to be creative, critically think and scrutinize in order to solve the problem that we might encounter. This should lead to conviction, and this conviction should lead to curiosity. Then from curiosity, it may drive creativity. Of course, I've mentioned something about creative critical thinking, but it is also the issue of creativity. Then from creativity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we have combustion. We have concentration. We have commitment. Concentration, and creativity. Then we have the other C is on consistent. Yes, consistency. So you might consider, or we might change the C's that we have, but still that is the same thing. Whenever you have a challenge that you face in life, in order to enjoy all these 8 H's or 4 H's, by changing the challenges into a successful opportunity. This is the order which everyone is supposed to follow. Creatively, critically think or scrutinize a problem. So in this case, we are finding solutions to every problem. By the time you reach a combustion and you have more of everything that you do, you will be having a solution, a successful solution to every problem in life. It will lead to a successful solution, and that is a successful opportunity where you solve the problems that you always face or have in life. But theme for today, or the part that we want to cover, is more on the philosophical ideology of a DASA model. The philosophical ideology of DASA model. So the philosophy, in this case, or ideology, we are focusing on individuality. So these are the concepts that we want to establish the most based on the DASA model. The issue of individuality, the issue of stagnation, and the issue of competition, and the issue of failure. I hope I will manage to cover all these concepts by the end of the day, or by the end of the presentation in this case. So the philosophical ideology of DASA model, these are part of the illusions. Some of the things that are not in existence, which are in existence in theory or in theory based on what we may say about something, but in reality those things do not exist at all. So I want to focus on the concept of individuality, that we are all individuals but unique. Not even one individual is the same or similar to anyone else on earth. Someone would say, you are different. You are not like other guys. You are not like other girls. Or how you look like is different from how others behave. Is 100% correct? Because you are an individual. We have no anyone similar to you. Do you have anyone who is similar to you? Some would say, there is identical twins. These twins are not identical. Right, the point that I want to stress is on individuality. Of course, I might put some biblical concepts sometimes for the first time for us to understand something. When God created Adam and Eve, are these two first parents on earth similar or they are different? They are different. By virtue that Adam was created first and Eve was created second. Even when you are giving birth, identical twins, one comes first and the other comes second. So automatically and obviously they are no longer the same because of their experiences are also totally different. So in this case, the concepts of comparing things or people committing, of course I'm putting it here in this case, is a bias or is an illusion, evil and a deadly toxic miasma, in the sense that how can you compare two different things to be the same? How can you compare two different things? Do you not even products, even pieces of chalks, every product, we say you provide identical commodities. If you analyze those commodities, they are totally different. Even if they are chalks or bottles of maybe of soft drinks, those empty containers, those bottles, they are not identical, but they are close. They are closely similar. There's some close similarities, not identical. All right, I'll continue from there. Then I want to stress another point that, of course, these are the bits and pieces of the concepts that I'm just trying to put across on public record. But given another time, we're going to cover all these illusions in detail. On another point, so this was the first one. The second one on stagnation or stagnant. When something is stagnant, you might say it is static or fixed. Do you know that everything on earth, each and every moment, it is changing. This changing shape, size, in form. Everything on earth, it is ever changing. either size, form, or shape. Even if you are not seeing the transition itself, but it is also changing. It may change because something causes it to change, or it may be the one which is just changing. Okay, I want to give you a simple example. A stagnant pool of water, after 30 days or after 2 months, what will happen to this pool with water which is stagnant, which is not changing changing as an illusion, as in stagnant as an illusion? What will happen after 30 days? Or maybe after a day. Of course, you may not see it. You may not see the effects per se, but after a time we realize, oh, this is what was taking place.
Somewhat evaporate.
Simple. The water will evaporate as the first thing. So if evaporation, so if the water in this pool continues to evaporate, obviously after some months, we see no water in the pool. So everything is just changing each and every time, each and every day. So people would say, no, you've changed. Are they lying? Or is there any problem by saying that? Obviously, because they are changing, because each and everything on earth is also changing. So when someone is saying you are changing, we say, even you are also changing. But the reason why I'm changing my approach, it is because they've changed also your approach. Are you seeing this? So everything is just changing. But the point which is very crucial about the change is we are not supposed to change from negative. Or we are not supposed to change from negative to worse, but we are supposed to change from negative to positive. Because everything changes. But if it changes from negative to worse, we are worsening the situation of our happiness, on our mental health. It means, because when you are changing from negative to worse, the challenge is becoming worse, not as an opportunity. You are not changing a problem to a solution. So when you are changing from negative to positive, that transformation or that transition is crucial based on the change that we are forming. So I'm continuing from that point of illusion, of stagnation, and I'll connect with individuality. The connection between individuality and stagnation is that these individuals are unique as they change shape, form, direction, perceptions, thoughts, whatever. They are not changing the same way. So the concept of unique still remains. There is no need of people competing us or compare us with other people, and we are not supposed to compare ourselves with other people, because obviously and honestly we are totally different from anyone else, even from birth. Is it making sense? So do whatever you are able to do or you are capable of doing without the consideration of other people, because obviously you are different and your progression, your changes is different from anyone's changes. Some changes might be involuntary or might be voluntary, might be direct or might be indirect. You might be the one who is causing the change, or maybe someone is causing that change, or the environment is causing that kind of a change. Alright, maybe to understand the concept of stagnation, maybe as a learner, you may assume you are on a stagnation state by not studying. After the end of the year, or maybe soon after writing the examination, what will be the a radical change of the results. Obviously, you're falling short. I want to avoid the issue of failure because I want to cover it in more detail so that you understand that failure do not exist again in life. It's just falling short of something, not necessarily failure. I would define failure so that at least we understand what it's all about. But if you fail to achieve a certain standard, that is the exam standards, it now changes your approach of life completely. And they are now repeating the level, or we are now thinking of other things. But all along we are just thinking, I'm stagnant, I'm not progressing, I'm just constant. But that constant level was shaping something, was changing your form, was changing your almost everything. So there is no something we can call stagnant. If someone comes after maybe after 3 years or 5 years, right, then we say someone comes at this school, what would that person see? Would that person see the same structures, or they are totally different, or they've changed? They've changed. So what even the products, they're totally different. So I'll extend to competition now. Is number 3. To competition. So you'd realize that when someone is competing, when someone is competing, is following a leader in every form. When you say someone is competing, it means that person is following a leader in every form. But is it necessary or important to follow someone when you are totally unique and you are changing in a different direction? There's no need. Because your change of direction or your change of form is totally different from each other. Alright, so we just welcome you, those you've just arrived. Of course, you've covered all this. I'll give you some after I explained some of these concepts. So in this case, on competition, we'll be following a leader in every form. But in reality, this is an illusion again. It's an illusion, evil, deadly, toxic, miasma, or spiritual influence. Because if people try to compete while least they are different, it will change almost everything. Alright, I want to prove, though this, I always have a challenge in my life. I teach economics on the theory of the firm, and there is what is called the perfect competition, in which says that competition exists. But I want to illustrate the evil of that competition. Let me use maybe a different chalk now, so that at least you can understand something. Perfect competition. As a theory in economics. Right? They say that products are identical. Products and factors of production are also identical. But based on what you've illustrated, are they identical? Is labor identical? No. Do the products identical? They're not identical. Even if they are cell phones, you would realize there are some differences. Even if they are of the same model, there are some differences. Even motor cars, they closely look alike, but they are not identical. Every product on earth or everything on earth, it doesn't mean it's the same. Or I can refer to these blocks. Those blocks, are they identical or they look alike?
They look alike.
There's some similarities, but doesn't mean they're identical. So that is another concept. So I want to prove that this ideology. So since we are saying the philosophical ideology of DASA model, I'm going to summarize more on the DASA model after I have laid this in place. So the factors of production, we also realize that they are not identical, as people may perceive as identical. So the evil of it is we are trying to bring I want to explain in this case that the firms or individuals under this theory will be limited to express themselves as they thought that they are identical, while they are not identical. But even if you are selling tomatoes, we are forced to have an idea that my tomatoes are the same as other sellers, but in reality they are totally different. Do tomatoes have the same size? No. Do they have the same size? So they are not the same. So perfect competition really, or competition in life, it does not exist, because we are totally individuals with different perceptions, with different mindset, with different everything. So with this model in place, as people continue to compete, it commits the abnormal profits to normal profits or to losses. Or some may decide to leave the industry because they are making losses, because they are forced not to initiate or to be creative, to critically think of how they may achieve or they may attract customers different from what is in existence. Because in perfect competition, you are not supposed to think of other means for you to sell your commodities, because you are just assuming everything just constant or is stagnant. But we have realized that stagnation do not also exist in life, because everything in life changes. Do you agree that everything in life changes? Every day, every moment, everything is just changing. Someone would say, no, that these blocks are not changing. But weather may cause the structures to change. Everything, even the sun, may cause the structures to change. That's why we have seasons. We have days, months, years, decades, and the like, because of those changes. Does the sun changes? Does the sun changes? Everything changes. Why? Because that's why we would say we have a dawn, midday, and sunset. After the end of 24 hours, it means we are now on a different day. Or after the end of 12 hours, we are from dawn to sunset. Everything just changes over the time period. And even the crops will be growing over those hours. So everything changes. So to compete now is a fatal mistake, because at the end of the day, people will end up having normal profits or losses instead of having more than the normal, as if they would express themselves in a unique way as they are changing. On stagnation, we are saying you are supposed to change from a negative to positive. that is from having a problem to a solution, unlike having a problem to the worse, creating more problems. You are not supposed to change by creating more problems. My point is, like to you academics or learners, if you are not studying, people will say, I'm not changing. You'll be changing to the worse, because the results that I'm going to get will be worse than maybe if you were studying. So we'll be changing, we will transition to the worse. I think that. So everything just changes. People say, no, everything just the same. If you are not studying each and every day, you are transitioning, we are transforming to the worst results that we are going to get. But if you are studying each and every day, we are transitioning, we are transforming to the best results that we are going to get. So everything just changes. So I have also explained the issue of competition. Then the last one I'll ask a question based on how you understand, so that I may see how you understand, like your thoughts before I give you something about failure. What do you understand by the term failure, or how do you define failure? What do you understand by the term failure, or how do you define failure? Failure. Anyone wants to start? What do you understand by the term failure, or how do you define failure? I can be sure, don't worry. Even in Shona, don't worry. Failure. What do you understand by the term failure? Yes. Failure. Yes. That is failure. Yes. What do you understand by the term failure? There is no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer. It's another concept that I've realized. There is not something which is wrong in life. The term wrong in my vocabulary do not exist. Wrong. There is negative right and positive right. Wrong. When something is wrong, how can that be wrong? Everything is right, but it might be negative right or positive right. If you do not study, is it wrong not to study? Is it wrong not to study? It's not wrong, but it's a negative right, because the consequences that you are going to get are negative. Is it wrong not to eat? It's not wrong. Is it wrong not to smoke? It's right not to smoke. Because the negative of it, if you smoke, the negative of it, the negative right of it brings more consequences or more problems or negative impact. Don't worry about the concept of wrong. Don't worry about it. You're still on failure. Did you say something? Yeah.
Not able to achieve your milestones or achievements.
Yeah, not able to achieve your milestones, or your milestones, yes, and your achievements, yes. It's correct. That's your understanding of your definition. Milestones or milestones, like certain level of achievement. You've been in form 4, it's a milestone. Form 6, it's a milestone. Might say levels of the ladder. How we are moving from point A to point B, those are the milestones. But you are failing, maybe you are supposed to be in form 5, form 6, but you failed form 4. You failed that milestone, that achievement that you're supposed to achieve, you failed it. So it becomes a challenge. And your understanding of failure. Don't worry, there is no wrong answer, like what I've said. There is nothing wrong. Yes. Yeah. All your answers are correct. My definition of failure is when one puts maximum effort and nothing comes in return, zero outcome. That is failure. When you put your maximum effort and nothing comes in return, zero outcome, that is failure. So, like when you, right, I might give a simple example so that at least you understand. You have ZIMSEC exams, then instead of having A or B or C, then you get a D, then you get a D maybe in whatever subject, you get a D. It's not a failure as such, because there is an outcome, which is D. Failure is when you have a zero outcome, or when nothing comes. Is this not a result? It is a result. So, all these, what we call failure, is just falling short of the standard. It's just showing you the effort that you have exerted when you were studying, because these are the results that comes. So it's just showing you that you've exerted a certain effort in your studies. It's not a failure, because if you have failed, you would have a zero outcome. So my point that I want to stress again is, not even one on earth or even in heaven have failed. Because after each and every action, there are some results that will come out. Have you ever failed in life? There is no failure in life, but there are lessons from falling short of something. So most people have said, I have failed. I start to disagree. I tend to disagree. But they have, maybe we're doing a certain project. Then we say, no, I've made some losses. The losses that you've made, it doesn't mean you failed. But you have exerted a certain level of effort and brings the results which are below the standard that you're expecting. It's not a fail. Failure is when you are getting a zero outcome. So, in another sense, this, what we call failure, which is not failure, is what I can call charity tax. Charity tax is an appreciation, or is a tuition fee, or it's a fees that you pay or that you incur to get an idea of something. If you get a D, what really comes to your mind? If you get a D, then what really comes to your mind? If you get a D, what really comes to your mind? What will come into your mind? Or maybe you're doing a business, then you lost or you lose $500 or $5,000. What will come into your mind? You lost $5,000, maybe from a deal, from a business deal, or maybe you get a D from the exams, final exam, ZIMSEC, maybe A-level, whatever subject that you love the most, then you get a D. What really comes to your mind? What do you say about it? Yes, what comes in your mind? Alright, maybe my question is, if someone gets a U, does that mean that person scores 0 outcome in every question? If it is paper 1, paper 2, get a zero answers. All the answers were wrong when someone get a 0. Does that mean that? No. That's why I'm saying it's not a failure, but it's a learning curve. It's a cherry takes. It's just a phase of learning something. It was just a payment of learning something. So when you get a D or even a U, what really comes to your mind? Now, or before you get the understanding of failure, or even with the understanding, what really comes to your mind? Oh, yes, simple. It's a learning curve. It's a cherry takes. It's a tuition fee that, oh, I get D. So if I put more effort again the next time, I'm going to score a better mark. But people always conclude to say, I failed, then they give up, as if it's a 0 outcome. Even in a business, when you lose $5,000 US, it's not a failure, because there is still an outcome. This is a fee of learning how we have fallen short of doing or of achieving your goals. So how many people have given up to say, no, I'm no longer proceeding because I failed in life? We have lost their opportunities to be better people in life. Even in connection with the perfect competition, if you are losing more, it's not a failure, but it's a learning. It's a learning curve to use a charity text to inform you or to educate you that you are supposed to change the approach. The concept of failure, where people assume that they failed in life, it is because they will be competing with other people's decisions or other people's lives. They will say, no, I failed this. But if you are totally unique in every form, we are supposed to appreciate what we have and coming up with the better solutions. So I've tried to explain all these concepts on failure. Of course, there are many concepts that I was supposed to explain, but I just decided to explain these concepts. There is no failure in life, because even those who have existed before us have never exerted or put maximum effort and get a 0 outcome. Not even one. But it's a charity takes. We incur this cost and may say losses as a learning curve. We learn something from whatever that we face in life. So never think or never fear to do something because we would think that I'll fail. No, just assume that or know that it's not a failure, but it's a learning curve. So how many lessons people were supposed to learn which they've concluded to say it's a failure? Maybe someone was doing business, then I failed in life. Then he gives up, of which it was just a learning curve. In order to critically think to solve a problem, to changing a challenge to a success opportunity. These are just the neural sparks and the neural pops to show you of the direction you are supposed to understand. Do you understand the neural sparks? Have you ever heard of the neural sparks? Have you ever heard of the neural sparks and the neural pops? Okay. Yes, of course. There is no way else you can have heard of this. Besides these studies, because it's from the intelligence society where we are focused. Neural sparks and the neural pops are the things that pops or that comes to your mind. Like in this case, the results, this just comes into your life. That is a D. It will now changes your perception or your mind into something else. So it becomes a neural sparks. It shapes your life. It shapes your destiny. It comes in various forms or in various ways. Those are the neural pops and the neural sparks. Did I explain it clear? Okay, maybe even a heartbeat might be a neural spark or a neural pops to something where maybe we just, or I want to give a simple example. When you're just cooking, then you relax, then your mind, your heart starts to beat. What is it referring you to? You'll be just cooking, then maybe you wandering about outside, maybe the kitchen, then you just playing with other with your friends out there. Then all of a sudden your heart beats. What will be your heart directing you to? Or what will come into your mind or pops into your mind? What will come into your mind? Yes. Well, maybe let me say it this way. Let me say it this way. Or you know what you can do? You don't go big up. On go bra pans. No go to the kitchen. On go bra pans. You don't go big. On go ntanga unutamba na wame pans. You don't na kilo. Unutamba ingana bora. You don't na kilo. Then ani ya kumbe ngudi pa kawan. Chicho no go ntanga ufunga. Simple. Those are the things, those are the neural sparks or neural pops. They just come into your mind or into your life to direct you into something else. But those things need a sober mindset or a good environment. Both those neural sparks and the neural pops may just come and go without noticing, without knowing, which will shape your life. If you maybe want to know your heartbeats, then you ignore it. No, yanguruwa wana yanguruwa sinabas katande. Chino budget ka kote yako. No one else say. No. So those are the neural sparks and the neural pops which change someone's life, even whatever we face in life. Those challenges. Intelligent society, we encourage people to change the challenges into successful opportunities. Not to think that these challenges I cannot overcome. Every challenge, everything in life is possible if you exert our maximum effort, because there is no zero outcome at the end. You will achieve something. Then, do you understand the axis? We don't understand the axis. Alright. What about the 8 H's? 2 4 H's? Well, those some of the stuff that some time past. So I'll give you some because I want to introduce this philosophical ideology of DASA Model a bit, then you end our lecture. So the axes are that. What about the theory of proximity? Do you understand the theory of proximity? If you want something, get close to it. After time, it becomes yours. For competition, it's a deadly in the toxic medicine. Have you ever heard of that statement? Oh, you never heard of that? Alright, so competition really in life do not exist. So, if you need something, if you need something, get close. If you need or desire, if you desire something, if you need something, get close to it. After a time, it becomes yours. it becomes yours. For competition, if it exists, for competition do not exist, but if it exists, it is an evil, a deadly, toxic miasma. So, in life, if you want to pass your A level, are you supposed to stay at home each and every time playing soccer, playing netball, playing whatever, playing cards? What are you supposed to do in order for you to come up with flying colors? What are you supposed to do in life? You are supposed to pass your exams, your A-level exams. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to stay at home playing? What is the most conducive place to be? Or the more school? So you are getting close to the education institution where that education is being provided. And get close to your books. After a series of study, after a time, the A's, the B's becomes yours. Normally not the B's, but the A's. Was emphasized the issue of A's. The A's becomes yours. Is it making sense? Yes. But if competition exists, it is an evil, and toxic, and deadly miasma. So when you get an A after the exams, or maybe if you get 3 A's, 15 points at the end of the course, A-level course, what will happen to your enjoyment? What will happen to your enjoyment? Do you feel happy or you won't feel happy? You'll be happy. So those are the happiness, health, healing, high esteem, joy. The first 4 H's and the second 4 H's, humanity, heart, habit, and hope. You always live with hope whenever you achieve. So in order to achieve this, or to implement this model of proximity, this proximity model, this is the proximity model. The proximity. This one, this concept is the philosophy of proximity. We are supposed to critically think ways of solving a problem. Then we have a conviction. Conviction is to be satisfied with the solution that you are going to use to solve that problem. Then curiosity, that is when you have the desire to implement that model, to practice what you've been thinking about is a solution. Then creativity, you start to come up with those kind of means of solving that problem. Consistent, you're supposed to be consistent in everything that you'll be doing. Keep on maintaining a certain level, and that will lead to commitment. Commitment is be just, when someone is committed, will always be on the guard of everything that you'll be doing. It is also in line with concentration. You pay close attention to your details. Then it leads to combustion. And that combustion is a relationship with hope. We'll be living with hope in everything that you do. By solving the problem, solution to a problem, to every problem, it leaves you being a happy person in life. So that is about the 8 C's. So with all this in mind that I was explaining on individuality, we were just saying that even if you are A-level girls, are you the same? You're different. Are twins identical? People say they have identical twins. Are twins identical? Are twins identical? They're not identical. But there are some, they have close similarities, but they are not identical. Identical means the same in every form. They are not the same in every form. Even the goods and services that we provide, they are not the same in every form. Even if I teach these health studies elsewhere, the way I'm teaching right now, even if I want to teach the same concepts elsewhere, there will be some variations or some differences on that. I get the point. Okay, so where we're going to end this lecture is on DASA model. So I do not want to delete or to remove everything, but I want to use this board to explain on the philosophical DASA model. DASA model. So DASA model is about the direction, age, speed, and the A might be approach or adaptability, or approach, or we can use the two again. Your age, in this case your age, determines your speed, or it impacts your speed. Your age and speed with direction determines the outcome. On speed, who may run faster, you or an old person? Who may run faster?
Okay.
Why? We are young in age, but why is it you may run faster than an old person? Come on. Alright. What about you? Will you run faster than maybe your mother, or like more than your granny? Who might be having more speed than that between the two, you and your granny? What did I say? So your speed determines your age determines your speed, but your direction now shapes the overall outcome. So the DASA model is this diagram. I'll give you a summary of it. So this side is about speed, direction, and you might have a positive direction or might have a negative direction. Direction is about your decisions that are going to make in life. Remember, we are an individual and there is no stagnation, a point of saying it's a constant level, because everything changes on earth. Then this is your direction. So I will give a simple understanding in terms of pass rates, right? In terms of pass rates. So these are the A, B, C, D, E, F, and a U. And this is for the age. Age follows this direction because you always come from 0 to this, whatever time frame you are going to live on earth, or when a certain goal that we have. Then direction, this side of direction, speed, it goes with age. So if you devote your whole direction towards reading and doing everything in the positive direction, you are likely to get an A, because you have more speed you have more strength to study and understand. Is it making sense? If your brain will be studying with you, who have a better understanding? Maybe economics. Who have a better understanding? You studying this by the side of your brain, who have a better understanding? Or who will take time to understand concepts? Yes, because age because when you grow old, you lose memory. You tend to lose memory. It's slow but sure. So, what about if you decide not to study but decide to play? What will be the actual outcome? Are you seeing how this DASA model may shape your life in general? If you decide not to study, if you decide not to concentrate, if you decide if you decide to play in this case, your decision now in life determines your outcome. We are always ever changing to the positive, to the negative, to the positive, changing in terms of overcoming challenges into a successful opportunities, or from changing to worse. Which direction do you wish to choose based on the DASA model? Positive. But how many people have realized this? Maybe they decided no, maybe at this point someone gets a U for the first time, then decided to quit. All these outcomes will be at the end of the day, because obviously age will continue to, the days or the time frame will still continue in this case. So your choice now, an individual choice, like what you always say, did I ever say to you that we may all experience happiness and failure, happiness and pain in life, but the absolute happiness and the absolute pain is on individual. Do you still remember the concept? Or was it you? On happiness and pain, have you ever studied together the happiness and pain? Alright, so your decision now, your decision is life. Well, if you have a choice on your happiness and you have a choice on your pain, that are going to either to enjoy or to serve in life based on this concept that I've laid so far. So my point in summary, don't think we are a failure in life, because failure really in life is an illusion. There is no one who failed in life, but people have stopped to progress because sometimes because of fear, because of people's influence. If we exert our maximum effort, we are going to see all this, or the effects or the changes. If you get a D, it's not a failure, but it's a charity text. We are learning something. Maybe it's you at this point of your life. If you implement the 8 C's by changing how you are going to approach the next time, we are supposed to change from this a negative direction to the positive direction. Up to this point, maybe it's now still might see a C, or a B might say a C. You have the chances to change if you decide not to stop progressing, because you are not yet a failure. A failure is when you exert your maximum effort and nothing comes at the end. But whenever you approach this model, I'm just using it in education because you are learners. But even you can apply this model in life of everyone, or in whatever situation, or in whatever sector, by changing the situation that we have in life into a successful opportunities. But it is dangerous sometimes to try to change the situation. Maybe, yes, still there is hope, but maybe you are now at 85 years. 85 years. you're being affected by drugs. This is the state of your health because of drugs. Even if you try to change, are you going to reach that side? Can you change everything in maybe 5 years or 10 years? The effect still remains. But at least you're having a positive mindset. So this is just telling us that whatever thing that we do have a positive and negative effect in life. It will be wise for us to choose what is positive than what is negative. But whenever we choose what is negative, still it's not fair. It's just a learning fee, a tuition fee. We can still change the negatives to positive. If we do not commit and if you do not consider it as a failure, and if we change to the positive, and if we realize that we are unique individuals, we are not the same as others, we are just unique individuals. There is no need to compete with anyone else. So whatever you may think you have failed in life, maybe you've just fallen short of, it's not a failure, it's just a learning. So we are supposed to progress. So these are the philosophical ideology of the DASA model, which shapes the DASA model. There is no reason to compete with anyone in life, but to live your life to the fullest. Every challenge that you face in life is an opportunity for the better or for your happiness. Is everything clear? Or we might have some questions based on what you've covered. Or maybe you might say, you might be having a challenge maybe in mathematics. It's a challenge. What are you supposed to do? Or maybe that challenge in mathematics, from what you've covered so far, what is it like? Or what is it in general? Or I don't know how to give you the answers, but I want you just to think, maybe from what you've discussed, right? A challenge in mathematics. In relation to your mind, what can you call it? Or what can we refer it to? What can we refer it to? A challenge in mathematics, or in economics, or in business studies, or in accounting. What can we refer it to in relation to the mind? It's what? It's a neural spark or a neural pop to direct you to the things that you're supposed to concentrate more. It's a problem which you're supposed to critically think to find a solution. Don't be stagnant with that problem, because when that concept is examined in the examination, because you have chosen not to find a solution, by not finding a solution, maybe to be stagnant, which direction are you choosing? Or are you going to fall? Maybe you are having a challenge in mathematics, then you think, let me just be stagnant. But remember, everything changes in shape, form, each and every day. If you decide not to find a solution to that problem, according to the DASA model, which direction is that leading you to the negative direction? And what are the outcomes of the negative direction? My youth. So what are you supposed to do whenever you face a challenge? Are you supposed to quit? No. But you're supposed to make sure you transition it or change it from the negative to the positive side with these outcomes. But I encourage you, or myself involved or included in that, we should not wait until we reach this point of maybe 85 years in a negative state. Then you say, no, right, let me just try to solve all my problems in just 10 days or in maybe 10 years. That's why you will see that most people when they retire, they don't live long. Whenever someone retires, mostly in Africa, will die maybe after 2 or a year. Because they were just enjoying money without investing. Then after a time, they realize, no, there is a lot of things that they're supposed to do. By trying to cover all those things in a day, or 2 or 3 or 5 weeks, or 10 weeks, or in a year, they will exert much effort than they are supposed to. Then they collapse and die. In life, we are supposed to enjoy all this. By realizing we are unique and there is no need to compete, and we are supposed to progress in life. So that's all what we are supposed to understand. Was it helpful? And in relation to your understanding or to your learning, how are you going to progress? Or maybe I might ask you a question. Is there any reason for you to come with a you? Is there any reason for you to come with a you? Is there any reason? Or maybe I did not explain for you better, but in intelligent society, we emphasize more on with basics from basics, with what we have. We are supposed to utilize what we have in order to be successful or to succeed in life. Most people, they think that at Maris, that is where you are going to get the most joyful learning, or maybe at Emako or elsewhere, not at this school, Mapa. We are supposed to use what we have at this school in order to come up with the better flying colors. Those who follow these kind of principles of the intelligent society will always pass, even in this school. So is there any reason for you not to come with an A? Do you have any reason? Or to say, no, these concepts are still hard for me to approach. Because all other girls, they are saying, they're still having this challenge. We are also failing this concept. So I know. So it's hard for us. Or is that an excuse, positive or negative excuse, to say no? Because you are also failing this concept. So this concept is hard. Still, the absolute pain is on you, not on others. You are the one who may suffer the most at the end of the day. Is there any reason for you to fail? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm still challenging you girls that by the end, of course, these results might not be pleasing. We did the first lecture on one of the days that I'm going to come up with these symbols. It's the level of your evidence, remember. So are you going to achieve these results?
Yeah.
The results which we have agreed on last time, the last time we have discussed.
Yeah.
And no, it was for this term. See results. Yes, it was for this term's results. Then are you still going to achieve? Then if you fall short of achieving those results, it's still a learning curve. A cherry takes a learning curve to find the causes of that falling short. What caused you to come up with those symbols? And what are you supposed to do next? Alright, maybe this is the last question that I'm going to have. If you may fail to have those results that you agreed last time. What are the results then that you may promise based on these lectures you are going to get by the end of this coming term? Yes, I will start with you. All right. We have what? Accounting, B, business studies, and mathematics. In mathematics, right? And we have business studies, we have mathematics, economics and business studies. We are doing business studies, right? Right. So, what are the symbols? What are the symbols? Yes. That's based on this, based on the application now, and based on the result that you are going to get as the neural sparks and the neural pops of a charity text, that you have learned something from the results of the effort that you have exerted in that, and the effort that you are supposed to exert next time.
Next time,
next time, most obviously, this result, you are going to evaluate the result that you get based on our previous discussions of the results. Then these results are for third term. Going forward, right? Yes, on this. So what are the symbols? Right, so right, you're saying concepts are hard, right? According to the DASA, which direction are you following? Negative. So, with that statement, with that mindset, do you know that every word, every action, every thought, or every perception shapes your destiny? If you say something is hard, your whole body will relax, and it is leading into all this kind of thing. Or maybe you are saying those concepts are hard, but are you enjoying the hardships of those concepts? Or you are just feeling the pain? If you're feeling the pain, you're supposed to solve it as a problem to a solution. Right, let me start with you while she's thinking of answers. Yes. Or maybe for this time, what are the symbols that you Alright, yes, this time. See? Alright.
And you didn't say but that did the last near this term.
Yes.
Just a secret account.
Alright, what about
B?
B, right? B, right? And you? Yes, what are the symbols?
D.
When? Maths.
A.
Right, maths, D. Yes. Economics. A and C. Alright. Oh, why this symbol D? Maybe what is the reason for the symbol D?
Then I improve.
From where? What is the current result?
Oh.
We have an O. Alright, still, yes. To improve to D, it's good. But I would encourage you to improve even further or better to even a B or an A. Just try to aim in A. All these subjects, both of you are supposed to come up with an A's. Find solutions for you to get A's. Yes, but remember, you're also supposed to have more time of enjoying life, of playing with others, of doing other activities. Someone will say, no, because I'm failing, so I want to exert my whole effort, my every time and again studying. Each and every time you're on books, studies, I know you still have to balance the two, life in general. Because if you just concentrate more on books, then you're still supposed to strike a balance. So this marks the end of our lecture for today. I just wish you the best in your studies. There is no reason for you to fail, guys. There is no reason for you to fall short not to fail. Because failure, we have realized that it's also an illusion. It drags your mind to think that I'm useless. At least if you come up with a you should remember that there are some concepts which I have answered correctly. So I have to improve in answering most of the concepts correctly until I get an A. So I want to challenge you, despite whatever the challenge, whatever reasons that you may give me, and A, head term, A, and A, head term. We have no excuse on that one. So that is another agreement that you are supposed to give each other today. Promise me these are the symbols that I'm going to get. I know you might have some challenges, but let's agree. Yeah, I know, but still, I'll explain more with the basics, from basics, as intelligent way next time, so that at least you can appreciate that it's possible to come up with this. So still, this marks the end for our lecture. I wish you the best, unless you have some questions based on my explanations on this theory. Do you have some questions or some challenges? All right, so